Is on the days to kindle the sacred lamp as a tribute to the goddess of wisdom and knowledge. Sirs, please.
हार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा
Thank you, Honorable Dave.
मातु
I request all of you to please take your respective seats and enjoy the proceedings. Up next, I would like to introduce you all to our very own Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Gwalior, which was set up in the year 1997 by the Prestige Education Society, Indore. The institute in these glorious 26 years has grown up to be recognized as a premier institute for higher learning. The institute has been approved by the All India Council for Technical Education and the state government and is affiliated to Jivaji University, Gwalior. It is accredited as an A-grade institute by UGC NAT and NBA. It is a recognized research center of Jivaji University, Gwalior, and is also awarded with the autonomous status by UGC in the year 2018. We have calcium in our bones, iron in our veins, carbon in our souls, and nitrogen in our brains. 93% stardust with souls made of flames. We are all just stars that have people names. The above words appear to be true in our today's gathering when we have few very notable intellectuals who are stars personified in their own domains. Not taking much of your time, I would like to request my fellow colleagues to welcome our guests with flowers, a symbol of freshness and vigor. Let me also take the privilege of introducing them to you one by one as we move ahead with the floral welcome. So we have our chief guest for today, Mr. Anil Bhasin. Mr. Bhasin has over 38 years of extensive experience in business development, sales, marketing, and project management. He is a proactive leader and planner with expertise in P&L management for more than 10 years. He served as the president at Havells India Limited from 2004 to 2020, achieving significant success. Under his leadership, revenue increased from 72 crores in 2005 to 1200 crores in 2019 with a compound annual growth rate of 22%. He led a team of 700 plus people, participated in corporate policy decisions as a member of the Executive Council, and mentored North India branches for business growth. Sir has also received several prestigious awards and recognitions, including the Peter Drucker Memorial Award of Excellence by the International Chamber of Professional Education and Industry. He was honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award by Amity University and the Brick of Change Award by Mr. Amitabh Kant, CEO of Niti Aayog. He has delivered live keynote addresses, webinars, and guest lectures on diverse topics such as handling challenging times, communication skills, people management, and human engineering. This reflects his expertise and willingness to share insights on leadership, communication, and management with students and professionals across a broad spectrum of renowned educational institutions. And now, I would like to request Professor Dr. Tarika Singh to please welcome Mr. Anil Bhasin with a planter. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Up next, we have another very eminent guest with us, Professor Dr. Justin Paul. Dr. Paul is the chief editor of International Journal of Consumer Studies, world's top consumer research journal ranked by Web of Science based on impact factor 10, published from UK and USA. He holds two doctorates. His first PhD is from IIT Bombay and second is from University of Brighton, England. Ranked among the world's top 82 highly cited professors in business and economic subject areas, his citations are increasing at a record rate 700 per month, with an H index 75. A former faculty member with the University of Washington, currently he holds dual appointment as a professor at University of Puerto Rico, USA, and University of Reading, England. Dr. Paul introduced the Mastige model and measure for branding, CPP model for internationalization, SCOPE framework for small firms, 7P framework for international marketing, and TCCM framework for literature reviews. He has published 3 best-selling case studies with Ivy and Howard. He is known as an author of books such as Business Environment, International Marketing, Services Marketing, Export-Import Management, Management of Banking and Financial Services by McGraw-Hill, Oxford University Press, and Pearson, respectively. His total downloads exceeds over 800,000 times. An author of over 180 research papers in SSCI journals. With these words, I would like to request Dr. Sneha Rajput to kindly welcome Professor Dr. Justin Paul with a planter. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. And now we have another very important guest with us, Mr. Manoranjan Sharma. Mr. Sharma is a gold medalist in postgraduate diploma in business management, a seasoned professional with over 3 decades of cross-functional experience, is currently working as chief economist with Infometrics Ratings Delhi. In the realm of technical and functional expertise, his role as chief economist of Canara Bank involved consolidating the bank's position through the launch of new products, business process re-engineering, and detailed analysis for strategic decision making. Sir has more than 350 publications in a period of 40 years, including in the Business Review, Cambridge, occasional papers, RBI Mumbai, Journal of International Research Publications, Economy and Business, Bulgaria, and the Indian Banker, to name a few. With these words, I request Dr. Abhijit Singh Chauhan to welcome Mr. Manoranjan Sharma with a planter. Thank you, sirs. Another star in the galaxy of intellectuals today is Dr. Shemendra Sharma. Sir is working as head of communications and customer centricity agency business with Tata AIA Life Insurance. He is accountable for the development, integration, and implementation of activities related to the strategic direction and positioning of Tata AIA agency and its leadership. He is a dynamic and passionate marketing professional with a strong academic background, having received the prestigious J.N. Tata Endowment Scholarship twice for UC Madrid and EFPM IIM Indore, along with the R.D. Setna Scholarship for Academic Research. He is an alumnus of Columbia Business School. With these words, I would like to request Assistant Professor Simran Rohira to please welcome Dr. Shemendra Sharma with a planter. Thank you, sir and ma'am. Another very eminent guest with us today is C.A. Prabhat Chopra. Mr. Chopra is a distinguished chartered accountant with over 13 years of experience serving a wide array of industries and traders through his esteemed family firm Chopra Consultants. An All India merit holder, he is recognized for his expertise and is a renowned speaker, frequently conducting seminars on the topics related to MSMEs and the economy. His significant contributions have earned him accolades at various conclaves where he has been honored by both cabinet and state ministers, reflecting his noteworthy impact on the field of finance and consulting. With these words, I would request Professor Dr. Garima Mathur to please welcome C.A. Prabhat Chopra with a planter. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Another very notable personality amongst us today is Mr. Anil Trigunayak. Mr. Trigunayak is a dedicated Rotarian and Indian diplomat with over 3 decades of experience in promoting India's interests through public diplomacy. He has a strong passion for strategic analysis, resource management, and achieving objectives, economic diplomacy, and fostering engagement for attracting investments and enhancing exports, particularly in the US, Russia, Middle East, West, and North Africa, have been central to his career. Having served as a trade commissioner in New York and deputy head of mission in Sweden, Russia, and Nigeria, he held the positions of India's ambassador to Jordan, Libya, and Malta. Notably, during his tenures in Nigeria and Libya, he is actively engaged in conflict management and provided assistance to stranded Indians in challenging situations. He is affiliated with various international organizations, including membership in the International Trade Council in Brussels, the Governing Advisory Council of the India-Italy Chamber of Commerce and Industry, CII, that is Confederation of Indian Industries, Asia-Africa Chamber, and BRICS Chamber of Commerce. He holds positions on the board of Raisina House, USA NAS Foundation, and India-Japan Foundation. He also serves as the Secretary of the Association of Indian Diplomats, Chairman of the Confederation of Education Excellence, and Peaceful Mind Foundation. Additionally, he is the non-executive chairman of Atmanirbhar Global Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the president of Millennial India International Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture. He also holds the position of Distinguished Fellow and Head of the West Asia Experts Group at the Vivekananda International Foundation, a leading think tank. With these words, I request Dr. Abhay Dubey to please appreciate his benign presence with us on stage. Thank you, sirs. Up next, we have Mr. Ankur Maheshwari with us, founder and CEO, Modern Group. Mr. Maheshwari is an experienced founder with a demonstrated history of working in the entertainment industry, skilled in business development, entrepreneurship strategy, product management, and entertainment industry. He is a strong professional with an MBA degree focused in strategy, finance, and entrepreneurship from ESADE Business School, Spain. With these words, I would like to request Dr. Richa Banerjee to please welcome Mr. Ankur Maheshwari with a planter. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Up next, I would like to invite all of you to please join us for the Welcome Address International Conference 2024 by Professor Dr. Devish Jain, Chairman, Governing Body, Prestige Education Foundation. Dr. Devish Jain is acknowledged as a living legend in India's oilseed sector and a pillar of the Indian agriculture industry. He is a source of strength and support to all the players in the agro supply chain. Dr. Jain, president of the Prestige Group of Industries, is a dynamic and forward-looking industrialist who has been inherited the vision and foresight of his illustrious father, Dr. N.N. Jain, Padma Shri awardee. In his professional career spanning over 46 years, Dr. Jain has created a distinct niche for himself in worldwide agribusiness. He is regarded as one of the most knowledgeable agricultural business experts, having extensive contacts with key global players. He has been a member of the Consultative Committee of the Food Corporation of India for the state of Madhya Pradesh, nominated by the Government of India, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, CEGR, that is Center for Education, Growth and Research. Managing committee members elected new core committee members for the year 2023. Under his dynamic leadership, the Prestige Group has set a benchmark in diverse business domains such as soya processing and edible oil refining, wheat milling, cattle feed milling, and LPG cylinder manufacturing. Under his able leadership, the Prestige Group of Industries has established itself as India's leading export trading house with a noteworthy presence in more than 40 countries worldwide. Because of his visionary leadership, the Prestige Group of Institutions has emerged as one of the largest and most reputed education providers in Madhya Pradesh and central India. Under the umbrella of the Prestige Education Foundation, the Prestige Group of Institutions is providing education to over 15,000 students, over 10,000 students in professional education, while about 5,000 in other streams of education. Dr. Jain has also authored 3 books entitled Golden Insight, Enterprising Soybean, Golden Insight, Enterprising Knowledge, and Golden Insight, Enterprising Life. With these words, I would like the DOP to please play the video as he'll be joining us online for the welcome address.
Distinguished guests, esteemed academicians, respected industry leaders, and honorable delegates. I extend a warm welcome to each one of you to the 15th International Conference on Fostering Industry Academia Partnership for Driving Innovation and Strengthening Trade and Industry, being organized by the Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Gwalior. I beg pardon for not being physically present before you on such an important occasion. Nevertheless, I extend my warm greetings and wishes for the grand success of this international conference. It is indeed an honor to speak before such a distinguished gathering of intellects and professionals who share a common vision for the advancement of knowledge, innovation, and industry collaboration. As the chairman of Prestige Education Foundation, I am delighted to witness the convergence of brilliant minds from India and abroad to deliberate on the pivotal theme of this conference. Today, we stand on the cusp of a transformative era where synergy between academia and industry is more crucial than ever before. Our collective responsibility is to explore avenues that not only foster collaboration but also drive innovation, ultimately fortifying the pillars of trade and industry. In our pursuit of progress, we must acknowledge that the landscape of business is evolving at an unprecedented pace. The challenges we face require innovative solutions that can only be cultivated through a harmonious relationship between academia and industry. It is not merely collaboration, it is a symbiotic partnership that holds the key to navigating the complexities of dynamic business environment. Allow me to share some practical examples that vividly illustrate the power of industry-academic collaboration. Silicon Valley, renowned for its technological prowess, stands as a testament to a success of partnerships between academia and industry giants. Institutions like Stanford University have played a pivotal role in nurturing the minds behind groundbreaking innovations that have shaped the tech industry. Examining the realm of information technology, the collaboration between Stanford University and Silicon Valley tech companies has been instrumental in driving the digital revolution. Stanford's close ties with industry leaders like Google and Cisco have facilitated the exchange of ideas, talent, and resources, resulting in the rapid development of technologies that have transformed we live and how work. This collaboration has not only driven economic growth but has also become a global model for fostering innovation. Our remarkable illustration of successful collaboration between academia and industry in the partnership between Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, and various technology companies. MIT has been at the forefront of research and development, producing groundbreaking innovations. Their collaboration with industry leaders has led to the creation of products and technologies that have not only transformed markets but have also contributed significantly to economic growth. This partnership model serves as a shining example of how academic research can directly influence industry advancements and vice versa. In the pharmaceutical sector, collaborations between research and institutions and pharmaceutical companies have played a pivotal role in the development of life-saving drugs and medical breakthroughs. Institutions like the University of California, San Francisco have partnered with pharmaceutical giants to conduct joint research projects. This collaboration not only accelerates the drug discovery process but also ensures that the latest scientific knowledge is translated into physical and practical applications for the betterment of healthcare globally. In the field of renewable energy, the partnership between academic institutions and energy companies has been instrumental in driving sustainable practices. The National Renewable Energy Laboratory (NREL) in the United States, for instance, collaborates with industry leaders to develop and optimize renewable energy technologies. This collaboration ensures that the latest research findings are translated into practical solutions, fostering the growth of the renewable energy sector and addressing global environmental challenges. These collaborations not only contribute to the growth of businesses but also empower the workforce with the skills needed to thrive in an ever-changing professional landscape. Closer to home, successful collaborations between Indian institutes of technology (IITs) and various industries have resulted in the cutting-edge advancements in the fields of information technology to the renewable energy. The Tata Institute of Fundamental Research (TIFR) in India has engaged in successful collaborations with Tata Consultancy Services (TCS) and Tata Motors. These partnerships have resulted in the development of advanced technologies and solutions ranging from computational research to the innovative automotive technologies. This collaboration ensures that the latest research findings are translated into practical solutions, fostering the growth of renewable energy sector and addressing global environmental challenges. As we gather here today, envision the potential impact of similar collaborations in diverse sectors such as artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and sustainable agriculture. These examples underscore the transformative power of industry-academia partnerships in the driving innovation, creating economic value, and addressing social challenges. In the context of our conference, let us draw inspiration from these examples and aim to develop actionable strategies that can be implemented in our institutions and industries. By fostering a culture of collaboration, we can collectively propel our societies towards a future where the boundaries between academia and industry blur and the pursuit of knowledge seamlessly integrates with the demands of dynamic and evolving business environment. They should pave the way for actionable strategies that can be implemented to bridge the gap between academia and industry. I encourage each one of you to actively participate in the sessions, share your insights, and collaborate with an open mind. Let this conference be a catalyst for change, a forum where ideas are not just exchanged but transformed into tangible actions that will shape the future of education industry and innovation. In conclusion, I express my gratitude to the organizing committee, the speakers, and all the participants for making this conference a reality. Together, let us embark on a journey of collaboration, innovation, and excellence, steering the course for a future where academia and industry stand hand in hand, driving progress and prosperity. Thank you for your presence and unwavering commitment to the advancement of knowledge, innovation, and industry collaboration. Together, let us embark on this journey of exploration, collaboration, and transformation. Welcome once again, and I wish you a fruitful and enriching experience at the 15th International Conference of PIMR Gwalior.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a delight for all of us to hear from you today. One tree can start a forest, one word can frame a womb, one candle can wipe out darkness. A true leader has confidence to stand alone, the courage to take tough decisions, and at the same time having compassion to listen to the need of others is an art. With these lines, may I take the privilege of inviting Professor Dr. Nishant Joshi. Dr. Nishant Joshi is currently a professor and director at Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Gwalior, an autonomous institute with NAC A grade. This is his second tenure as director. He has been credited with setting this world-class institute and making it from a mere 120 student institution to a 1,000+ student institute by implementing strategic policies, processes, and culture. He is also the director of the Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Gwalior, an autonomous institute with NAC grade A and NBA accreditation. He is credited with bringing the institute into NIRF, top 125 management institutions in India. Also during his tenure, the institution's gross enrollment improved to record high, with teaching and learning at the core of its activities. He is also the professional director of HF Universal Private Limited, an INR 100 crore turnover company, and was the managing director of Pro Agricom Trade FZCO Dubai UAE. He has extensive experience in marketing and trading agricultural commodities for food and feed needs. His area of operations is West Asia and North Africa. He is a doctorate in international marketing from the coveted Vanasthali Vidyapeeth. His area of specialization is international business with subdomain of trade, financing, research, training, and consulting. With these words, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Nishant Joshi for an introduction to the 15th International Conference 2024.
Morning to all of you, fellow delegates and distinguished guests. I extend my heartiest thanks for sparing time and coming all the way from different places to Gwalior. I just had one of our guests sitting beside me who gave a remark that, will you bring such people to Gwalior? And I said yes. So thank you, Mr. Justin Paul, who has traveled all the way from South America. Shri Anil Tribnaik, former ambassador, Indian Foreign Services, Government of India. Shri Ankur Maheshwari, Shri Anil Bhasin, ex-President Havels India. Dr. Manoranjan Sharma, Chief Economist, Informix Valuation Rating Private Limited. CA Prabhat Chopra, who has spared time from his practice today to moderate our session and be with us. In absentia, Dr. Davis Chen, President, Prestige Group of Industries and Institution, a 2,500 crore plus company, and all the delegates, students, teachers who are here. When we thought of doing this year's conference, something came up in our mind, and that was the state of affairs of the economy. It was very interesting that while we were discussing the fact that India needs and should grow in becoming a $5 trillion economy, we are also largely challenged by the fact that we have a very large young population. In the morning, while a small discussion with Dr. Justin Paul, I mentioned a figure that we've got more than 0.2 billion youth who are in collegiate education. This population is sum total of many countries. And India is a capital-starved country. We have a chartered accountant and an economist here. And under these circumstances, the resilience of the economy to manage such huge population of jobbers or probably entrepreneurs is not an easy affair. Government of India since last 10 years has been working very hard to do something on this affairs. There are large policy decisions which are being made. But now and then we find publications mentioning the fact that 70% of the graduates that pass out of the B schools, technical education institutions, professional education institutions are not hireable. And this is a big problem. This problem is not only for institutions which are B grade or A grade. This is a large problem which is of the nation. We have Shri Anil Tribunayat, who is also from the Vivekananda Foundation. It's a think tank. And this area has been thought in the same think tank earlier, if I remember correctly so. And the new education policy, and there's so many things which are happening around us, which is basically trying to focus onto this, the other incubation centers, the funding that the government is trying to do. But what's happening is a big question. Our education institution being able to do it, yes or no, is a big question. What is the gap between the industry and academia? The bigger idea that Mr. Bhasin can put light on is that when he takes students from institutions, is the student ready to go and perform in these industries? This is a big question. It's a very challenging question at the same time. The conference basically was themed around these critical issues, and we did not fear to raise this question to ourselves also. Are we doing justice? How do we do it? By speaking as simple as that, are we doing justice does not mean that we are at fault, we are trying very hard, but we need to understand what is the gap. We also need to understand what are the possible strategies to fill up these gaps. Under these circumstances, we developed this conference. We invited industry leaders, we invited academicians to this very platform for this discussion so that we can bring out the challenge that persists amongst all of us. This is the core theme, the soul, the essence of this conference. I welcome all my guests, dignitaries, faculties, on behalf of Prestige Education Foundation, myself, Deputy Director Dr. Tarika Singh, and all the faculty members, students of this institution. Welcome you all, sir, and welcome to the delegates who have come from all across the country to this place and even from abroad to the institution. Hope we will have sessions which will bring out solutions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. With these words, I would now like to hand over the stage to CA Prabhat Chopra for a panel discussion followed by open house. So please.
Hello, check. A very warm good morning to the elite panelists we have today and the shining bright audience. I can see the intellectuals from the city and obviously the young bloods which are seated behind. A very good morning to all of you. I, CA Prabhat Chopra, once again wholeheartedly welcome you all to this very noteworthy topic for which we have gathered today, which is in fact the need of the hour. So I congratulate in fact you all to witness this noteworthy discussion, fostering industry academia partnership for the strategizing trade industry and driving innovation. The kind of panel we have people from administration, we have people from industry, we have people from academics. So today's discussion is definitely going to be very insightful and very holistic view we are going to have today. So the kind of diverse panel we have, I believe we need to have a huge round of applause for the team Prestige. So let's get back to the business for which we all are gathered here. I'll quickly kick off with Anil Tribunayat sir. Anil sir, you have traveled across the world, having served the nation through Ministry of External Affairs. You have interacted very closely with the almost very renowned scholars, philosophers, in fact, the policy makers. How do you conclude what is the basic basic difference between their education system and ours?
Thank you, Prabhat, and can you hear me?
Not working.
Namaskar. At the outset, I would like to thank and congratulate the Prestige Institute of Management and Research and Mr. Jain and Dr. Joshi have already worked out on various things. Now that you asked me this question, it's very interesting because for nearly 30 years, I have been thinking that what is missing in our system, that we are not able to reach where we should have reached long back. There was a policy system in India, as you know, which was essentially government-centric, public sector units, and I'm currently on the board of one. There are private industry, which has a very different kind of a mindset, because it was family. Then it became professionalized over time. We had Varna system, as you know, where one caste was basically charged with doing business. And so it was continued like that. And then today we are seeing that it is becoming far more professionalized and it is going places because of technology. The technology is essentially changing the whole dynamic. So the first place where I was in New York, and then I went to Sweden. These are the two places I would say. And Justice Paul will tell about US basically. But let me talk about Nordic countries. They're small countries with 9 million population. There is garage culture. Everybody is working into something, thinking about, inventing. And there is institutions, whether it's the Royal Institute of Technology, KTH, or for that matter, Karolinska Institute, which is like medical institute. To the research, R&D is something on which they always focus. And R&D is not only in vacuum, so that is the biggest disjunct between industry and academia. And that is that they are not able to bring together or synchronize or synergize their research. This is something that I have seen in many countries. So when we talk about developing countries and the developed countries, that's a very major difference. A lot of Indian doctors in the US, for example, are practicing doctors. But most of the people who do research are basically mostly Americans themselves. They go into R&D, they do into research. They try to excel in those areas. So financially, we might be doing much better there, but at the same time, in terms of research, but that has changed. Today, you see the biggest thing for the youngsters here is to look at the 25 top companies, multinational companies, which are all headed by Indian origin people. So it is not that we cannot do it here. We can do it here as well. Unfortunately, now, whatever policies the Indian government has been following in recent years, and I would say the last 30 years. And I was fortunate to be Trade Commissioner of India at a time when we had just embarked on our economic reforms. We were able to attract a lot of US companies and their interests, both in our financial sector as well as in the IT and other infrastructure sectors. So they know that there is an opportunity in India. But when it comes to the overall systemic issues, which is still pertain, for example, when we talk about with this government, especially, we are talking about from red tape to red carpet for the industry, for the FDI. That is something, whether at the grassroots, whether at the ground, is workable or not. Now, it was mentioned by Dr. Joshi, and there was yesterday in the newspaper also, it was written that half of our people who are graduating from
various technology institutes and management and other places are unemployed. So there is a very major challenge that we are facing, which should not be the case. Because in future now, let us say that this is going to be our strength. Our youth is our strength till 2055. So the window is just these 25 odd years, in which we also call it Amrit Kal or whatever, to become the developed country. But for that, I think to take it, so far we have taken it forward. The complex of the GDP has also changed tremendously. We are only contributing about 13% out of manufacturing, 14%. Whereas 67, 68% is from services sector. So that happens to be your strength. And we are excelling in that. Like the digital public infrastructure we talked about in the G20, India really took the lead. So there are so many things. But I would say that when the need arose, we have shown to the world that they can do better than others. While in the West, something called vaccine apartheid that was going on. Today, the green apartheid, which is happening from there, is what India showed that it can have a different model. Different model is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. You know, one day before this was decided that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam should be our G20 logo, in the Vivekananda Foundation we were discussing about. And this is a very major, I would say, systemic change for the world, the way the international politics operates, that we think for the world. We think for ourselves, we think for the world. Where other countries may be driven by simply profit motives or geopolitical motives or geoeconomic motives. So here we said that we are talking about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam all the time. Why don't we think of it? You know, so I am very happy that this was eventually the Prime Minister's idea and it was incorporated, and this became mantra as far as India's international political discourse is concerned. So I think that we need to change our mindset and the education system. So until and unless both industry and the academia develop a confidence in each other's capabilities, and rather industry should be co-opting in my view, because you can't leave everything to the government. So if there is an industry here, there are alumni from different places. I have been to some of the institutes where the alumni have done an amazing job in creating these incubators, research and others, and then co-opting and taking that research which they want. So there can be different models. I'm quite sure the experts here will be talking about. But I think we have some way to go, but we have come a long way.
Right, very true. So it has been very rightly emphasized by Mr. Anil that be it R&D or be it the theme of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam or be it the business theme, the dynamics has to be driven from the business houses, their top management, their mindset need a deep shift of paradigm. So talking about the businesses, Dr. Manoranjan, I am coming to you because what we all have been able to understand from Mr. Anil, the dynamics has to be driven from the business houses. And you are a senior ex-banker, you have been associated with a senior reputed dating agency, you have been deeply driving the financial numbers, reading their financial balance sheets. What, as per you, is currently the strengths for the financial number drivers, or what are the reasons due to which this top line is getting ahead? Sir.
Top line of companies.
Yes, top line of the companies, their financial balance sheets are getting ahead. What is the key driver for their strengths or the laggings?
Well, as most of us are aware, India seems to be in some kind of a sweet spot at the moment. As if you look around the world, you'll find that the global economy is growing at something like 2.2, 2.4%. India seems to be growing on consistently. I think Mr. Anil, Dr. Joshi mentioned that we are reaping the benefits of what is known as a demographic dividend. First time, I think this issue came to the fore in that pioneering seminal study of Wilson Dominic and Ms. Rupa Purushottam, say for the first time, because of traditionally what was for about 200 more years from the publication of Thomas Malthus' pioneering study way back in 1798, which demonstrated that population was some kind of a drag on the process and the pattern of development. I don't want to go into details went into arithmetical progression, geometric progression. But now for the first time, this 2% team, I think that was in October 2003. Dominic Wilson, an American professor, and an Indian lady, Rupa Pushankar, came up with what is called a completely out of box, innovative kind of thinking in which they demonstrated that this kind of population dividend, younger population, India at the moment has about 40% of the population below the age of 30, but this provides a significant growth dividend. So as all of us are indeed, we are reaping the benefits. This kind of thing seems here to stay. All the Indian companies are doing well. Yes, going global. There have been some good global tailwinds. China has taken a hit for various reasons. The Doklam crisis, the COVID-19 aftershock, so many other things. At the international level, perhaps it has become too ambitious, too adventurous. So there is some, China has emerged as the factory of the world, some kind of industrial hub. So there has not been a one-to-one correspondence that all the companies which are shifting from China, they are not coming to India, but the process is very much there. We need to accelerate the process and to supplement Anilji's point. I think R&D and other things, these companies need not to be looked at, need not only look at the top line growth, they also need to look at the ultimate bottom line, corporate social responsibility, contribution to societal wealth. For example, I was in Bangalore for a fairly long stretch, about 50 years. So before these terms came into fashion, the Tata House, White Moon, in India, you take any benchmark, but by any benchmark, whether national or global, you'll find that the Indian Institute of Science outranks everyone consistently at number one. And what is the origin of the Indian Institute of Science? 1906 or 1908, the Tata Group donated about 100 acres of land, and till independence, prior to independence, they were managing this. So this kind of a thing, I think someone mentioned alumni, role of alumni. You go to Harvard, you go to Princeton, all these in I think I went to Harvard sometime back here. Even Mukesh Ambani has donated a block there. So these are things we can increasingly talk, increasingly tap, and this is a very complex thing. Moving up the value chain for educational institutions, for countries, and there needs to be some kind of a coordinated and concerted effort by all kinds of the stakeholders. I'm confident we have done well, but as Robert Frost said, doubts are lovely, dark and deep, but I have miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Thank you.
So we all can rightly understand the roadmap of this Indian economy of the growth is very clear, as Dr. Manoranjan rightly said. Taking ahead this discussion, Dr. Paul, I want to understand from you. You are an internationally acclaimed professor, scholar. Like all of us, you also must have heard the theme which the PM is driving, the nation is driving of $5 trillion economy. So as a bird eye view, how rightly you feel, is the Indian economy in the right trajectory? Are we rightly placed to actually achieve that $5 trillion economy goal, or it could just end up with just a number?
So, India has emerged as the second fastest growing economy in the world, and India is doing relatively better than other countries. However, there is a lot of so there's a lot of problems in this country, because this is the only country with the 20 plus languages in the world as of now. So which we have, but now the country has 20 plus languages or 200 plus communities, or that can I traveled in about 200 plus countries in the world. Last year itself, I traveled in 20 plus countries in my academic life or academic purposes, and nowhere else we can see this kind of diversity of this kind of issues. And politics here is also a push and pull factor for East. Also, too much push and pull in this country compared to other countries. US just has two parties. How many parties we have? This country has the maximum political parties in the world. So when you have that kind of diversity, it is not that easy to take up a country to a greater heights, regardless of whether Modi is the prime minister or Rahul Gandhi is the prime minister or Deva Gowda is the prime minister. It doesn't matter. So it's not that easy. Probably we have former ambassador here, so he would know more about this. And the need of and the theme of the conference is also industry academia partnership and is need of the hour in this country. We have to work towards greater integration between companies and academia. This is simply not taking place to the extent that it is supposed to take place. For example, I can also relate with my Korea visit. I was in South Korea twice, and I was invited as a keynote speaker in a marketing conference, Korean Scholars of Marketing Science, and it is organized by Korea University. They had a much bigger auditorium than this, and that auditorium is known as LG Hall. LG Hall. It is simply because LG, the Korean company, donated the money for building that auditorium, and it is located at Korea University. That is the number one or number two, one of the top three universities in Korea. And I went to Yonsei University. That is also one of the sky universities in Seoul. And Yonsei University, what I found was the library is named as Samsung Yonsei Library. So, which means Samsung is a sponsor of that library. That is why they named it as Samsung Yonsei Library. University name is Yonsei Library. So that kind of industry, so companies have a lot of cash reserves. So many companies in this country or many countries in the world, so they are more rich than academic institutions. And but academic institutions need to tap them in different ways. I worked at Rollins College, Florida, in the US for a year. This is the college where Rahul Gandhi did his BA. And Rahul Gandhi, you do not know Justin Paul. But so at Rollins College, Florida, almost all the classrooms are named in the name of some company owners, like Bill Gates' classroom, and almost all classrooms have some name, and it is known in the name of some it's not named in the company name, but company CEOs or company owners, they have donated money and they have given the name to those classrooms. So good or bad, you decide. Leaders can decide. But I find it is a very model where this. Your question is not directly related to the industry, but however, I think that many steps can be taken in different ways, which will help the country, which will also help the institutions, which will help and incubators is the need of the hours. Incubators will definitely help the country to achieve, because we need more successful entrepreneurs. We need entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship directly contribute to the success of a country. And I'm not sure PMG or PMR has very strong incubators. It is also a need of the hour. And one more point I want to say, like in the US, it's a different kind of business model. I simply do not see that in India. I was also faculty member at University of Washington, Foster School of Business. This school is known as Foster, Michael Foster, donated money, which is also in India now at IIT Bombay, Shailesh Mehta School of Management. But I'm not saying that needs to be done in every institution, but we need much more. In the US, almost all business schools have somebody's name. Donors, so that they have, and the job of a dean in the US is actually not to track the students or faculty. There's no faculty attendance. There is considerable amount of academic freedom. No need for punching and all. So, but the dean of an Indian job or Indian university is actually tracking faculty movement and students movement. There, the dean is always talking to some industries on how to enhance the collaborations and how to get the sponsorship for different institutional activities. All these are a lot of things that can be done in this country. So, but we need to bring back the best brain from different countries back to this country so that they can bring ideas. I found our Anil sir's profile IFS who was served in different countries. We need to understand what is best in the West, and that need to bring back here and implement the idea. I lived in Japan for 3 years. One more example. And my friends in Japan, including Masamichi Sugie and or what they told me, we go everywhere in the world. Why we go? We want to learn the best from the West. That's why we go to West. And we want to unlearn the West from the West and implement the best from the West and unimplement the West from the West. That is the need of this country, so that this country will, transcend horizon. Otherwise, it is difficult.
Oh. So very rightly elaborated the basic problem of brain drain, as you told, that is the need of the hour. We need to focus on that very crucial area. So we understood the international industry patterns from you. We understood the domestic trade patterns from you, the industry challenges, the business numbers from Dr. Manoranjan. So coming back to the basic theme for which we all are gathered is industry academia partnership. So, Mr. Rasin, I want to understand from you which area we are basically lacking. We are lacking on the innovation part, which we all can understand. So, for making this industry academia partnership a successful, a sustainable growth story, what are the main innovation which we need to focus upon? Sir?
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Let me start with the foundation. India has been ruled by Britishers for less than 200 years. Our education system, pardon me for saying this in this institute, our education system and parenting both have been wrong. And I'm a party to it. As a parenting also, I'm a party to it. You see, our grandparents have gone through a phase of survival. We have 5, 7 children, we have survived. A person like me have grown through a stage where the standard of life was to be there. A TV, fridge, refrigerator, and a car was a kind of a luxury. You see, today youth is living the quality of life. We as a academician, as a parent, also have to see what the life is going to be in the next 20 years. We can't tell them the old stories of dadis and nanis that how Pakistan में हमारे पास ये था और हमारे पास इतनी agriculture land थी ये थी. In school and colleges, as per British knowledge, we were taught only 2 things: give the answer in yes or no, and learn English so that you can get some employment. And the purpose of education was only one: to get a job. आज भी क्या होता है, हम लोग कहते हैं पढ़ो लिखो और क्या हो जाओ, जॉब लेके सेटल हो जाओ. What do you mean by settle? एक अच्छी शादी हो जाए तुम्हारी, वो शादी अच्छी होगी या नहीं होगी वो बात की बात है. We have never been taught in the school or the colleges how to handle failure. And let me tell you, if as an academician also, my wife, she's also a teacher. I know how she talks to the students. Because I was bad student, I used to sit in the last side, never heard what the teacher was saying. So school and colleges, we have been said, meaning, आपको question नहीं पूछना. And I agree with Dr. Paul that in US or the other countries, or what Anil has said, is that the freedom of speech is there. In our country, even as a parenting also, we don't promote our children to speak. And some Hindi sheikhs, since I am in Madhya Pradesh, I have to Hindi also, वो कहते हैं हादसों के शहर में हादसों से डरता है. हादसों में कोई इंसिडेंट हो जाए, कुछ हादसों के शहर में हादसों से डरता है. मिट्टी का खिलौना है, फना होने से डरता है, टूटने से डरता है. मेरे दिल के कोने में एक मासूम सा बच्चा बड़ों की देख ये दुनिया बड़ा होने से डरता है. I think every week. Now I think that the mic is working because the last two also is clapping. See, we should promote our children to have failure. I agree with Dr. Paul also. In US and all other countries, they promote failure. If you go to an MBA college, they will ask you how many times you have failed. In the project also, they would appreciate. And in India, if someone fails, हमें लगता है ये तो अभी गुंडा है, आवारा है, पढ़ता नहीं है, नहीं क्या. पढ़ोगे लिखोगे तो बनोगे नवाब, खेलोगे कूदोगे तो होगे. ये आज के सचिन तेंदुलकर और कोहली क्या खेल रहा है ना, धोनी ने क्या किया, आपको पढ़ाई करी है क्या, कुछ नहीं होगा. हमें बच्चों को अपनी जो फील्ड है वो करनी चाहिए. Coming back to the industry, I think it is a failure on the part of the colleges, academia also, as far as the industry also. Dr. Paul has rightly said, nobody has come to a company like Heavens India Limited, which is a 20,000 crore company, to say to it that Amity is a college next to us. In the NCR, there are 32 universities in NCR in Greater Noida College. None of them has even approached And we don't know who is the dean, who is the professor, who is the academy, who is the chairman of the institute. Had अगर कोई भी एक आदमी उठ के चल के आया था, we had a CSR activities, we would have loved, because everybody wants to have acknowledgement and appreciation on his name, that my name is there. If someone's name is there into the college auditorium, what you said, LG or Samsung, this is one good thing which you are saying. And I was seeing to it the alumni of the IITs, Bombay and all, spending crores of rupees back to the college. That should be the objective of the institution head, to go to the college and go to the alumni and ask for the people. And if I become the education minister, I would definitely do one job to increase the salary of all the academicians by 4 times. I was on the panel of IIM Sirmur 2 days back, and I saw what was the salary offered to associate professor. She was so much learned, and let me tell you, I am a BSc second divisioner. Let me tell you, all the students, those who are sitting, खाली बेटा पढ़ाई से कुछ नहीं होगा, पढ़ाई आपको एक जॉब दिलाएगी, उसके बाद आपको कहाँ जाना है वो आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। तो ये कोई जरूरी नहीं है, you are said that you colleges, इस तरह के कॉलेजेस से बच्चे पढ़ते हैं। मैं आपको बता देता हूँ, we used to have 50 students from IM, 50 from B and 50 from C class institute. I am not saying C class means थोड़ा छोटे कॉलेजेस, और 6 महीने बाद हमें ये नहीं पता लगता कि कौन सा बच्चा IM से है, कौन सा बच्चा इंदौर से है, कौन सा बच्चा ग्वालियर से है, कौन सा बच्चा ग्रेटर नोएडा से है, क्योंकि उसकी परफॉर्मेंस पे डिपेंड करता है। डिग्री आपको खाली जॉब दिला सकती है। और मैंने इसीलिए बोला सैलरी के लिए, my wife, she is a teacher, she is a PhD chemistry in one of the schools in Delhi. When we got married, my salary and her salary was same, but when I superannuated, just I will not tell you my salary, but my salary was 10 times higher than her salary, and I used to pity on her कि यार तुम इतनी मेहनत करती हो और मैं तो कुछ भी नहीं, मैं खाली माइक पकड़ के बोलता रहता हूँ, और तुम्हें इतनी सैलरी कम क्यों मिलती है। वो उनकी खैर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट की कोई मजबूरी है कि वो उतना नहीं दे सकते, पर मेरा ये मानना है कि आई थिंक तो इंस्टीट्यूशन को काम करना पड़ेगा और इंडस्ट्री को काम करना पड़ेगा। अगर इंडस्ट्री के पास सर कोई मांगनी ही नहीं आएगा तो वो देगी क्या। आज इंडस्ट्री के पास बहुत पैसा है, एग्री विद यू, इंडस्ट्री पैसा देने के लिए तैयार है, अपना नाम देने के लिए तैयार है। कोई अगर आपके तरफ से आएंगे तो इस तरह के इंस्टीट्यूट, मैंने बाहर से देखा, मेरे को कॉलेज थोड़ा छोटा लग रहा था, क्योंकि मैंने अमेठी और दिल्ली के कॉलेज देखे, बहुत बड़े बड़े कैंपसेस हैं उनके पास में, पता नहीं 100 एकड़ में कॉलेज होता है। मेरा मानना ये है कि तो ऐसा होना चाहिए कि बाहर से देख के आदमी को दिल करे कि यार अंदर आने का दिल कर रहा है। अभी तो ऐसा लगता है कि शॉपिंग मॉल टाइप का छोटा सा होगा कोई, आई थिंक तो आई थिंक ये चीजें हमें इन्वेस्ट करनी पड़ेगी। और पेरेंटिंग में भी हमें बच्चों को बोलना पड़ेगा कि अगर आप फेलियर हो रहे हैं तो कोई फेलियर में कुछ नहीं होता है, फेलियर इज ए पार्ट ऑफ success, it is not the opposite of success. So I think so we should promote our children to fail and then bounce back from that failure and learn, and life तो सर infinite है, अभी तो finite life ही है।
Very finitely said कि जो बच्चों नकली आपने बहुत अच्छी बात कही, जो जो बेसिक रूट्स है दैट नीड टू बी चेंज, जो बेसिक नरिशिंग है, जो बेसिक नर्चरिंग है, उस पर हम लोगों को काम करना होगा। And we all need to have a very inclusive approach while raising the kid, while making him study into the any academic institution. And एक इस inclusive approach के साथ ही हम सब लोग मिलके इस industry academy partnership को successful बना सकते हैं। All industries are open-hearted to extend their CSR funds. All are flooded with massive CSR funds. It's just that there is a lack of communication due to several apprehensions which the institutes are having, which the industry is having, जिसके कारण से वो एक अटूट लिंक नहीं बन पाता है। इंडस्ट्री की हम बात वापस से करते हैं। इंडस्ट्री 4.0 आज की डेट में सबसे ज्यादा चर्चित टॉपिक है, फोर्थ इंडस्ट्री रेवोल्यूशन। तो डॉक्टर शिवन सर, मैं आपसे समझना चाहूंगा कि हम बात कर रहे हैं कि इंडस्ट्री इज कीन टू इंडक्ट द किड्स, कि इंडस्ट्री इज कीन टू टेक द यंग ब्लड्स फॉर द इंटर्नशिप, फॉर देयर नरिशिंग, बट इज द करंट एजुकेशन सिस्टम systematic? Is the current education system, is the current industry patterns reasonable? इंडस्ट्री 4.0 के आने के बाद क्या वो उनकी जो एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी के स्किल्स है वो डिजायरेबल है? क्या वो आज का जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम के बाद वो स्किल सेट लेके आ रहा है वो इंडस्ट्री 4.0 की रिक्वायरमेंट्स को, उसके स्टैंडर्ड्स को मैच कर पाएगा क्या?
Thank you.
एक तो आपने मुझे धर्म संकट में डाल दिया. I am the second batch of this institute. And the other thing I have is I have three classmates sitting in front, which are the most brilliant classmates. Vandana, Garima and Rich. So I was not brilliant, but not the last bencher also. You're right in one observation of yours, sir, which I second. But we are good. It may be looking as a shopping mall, but when we entered, we actually entered a Chaturvedi marriage at Pada, Manik. This institute, and I'm proud to say, sir is here, and I visit very, I'm the worst person to come to hometown. 10 years, 12 years, I think it is after a gap of 7-8 years. I last came and I wanted a recommendation from the dean for my PhD in University of Colorado State. So after that, I've just come. My only submission to you, sir, this institute has grown. And it has grown many-fold of all these fields. So though the building may not look as jazzy as a factory, because I studied in Ahmedabad, I studied in Indore. I'm visiting when you are in the Amritsar, Jammu, Rohtak. So well accepted. Infrastructure is one part, but I'm telling you the environment which Prestige is giving. And I want a big applause from all the Prestigians. No institution can give you this environment. We from the first and second batch hosted interface, and we were cutting buntings in the night, putting them on the stage, and backstage dressing for ourselves to come on stage. And those resources, sir, we did a fashion show. We did 12 events. We got sponsorships. This institute, I'm telling you, will give you the best of the experiences which you will have in your life. This is the right place you have decided to join. I had a choice in counseling to go to a good institute in Indore and Bhopal. I intentionally chose Prestige because I knew the founders are interested in shaping, and this is the biggest example of industry and academia which has come. Now, after all the GAN, let me give you a situation which is more relatable. We all have read Ramcharitmanas. There is a situation in Ramcharitmanas कि शिव जी का धनुष टूट नहीं रहा था, तो जनक जी ने कहा कि तजहु आस निज निज ग्रह जाऊ लिखा न विधि वैदेही विवाह. All the hope. When industry loses hope, it is Janak. Academics is something. Academics is Vishwamitra. So Vishwamitra orders or says, Uthahu Ram Bhanjahu Bhavachapa Metahu Tat Janak Parita. It is the academic which is creating students to take care of the industry. I fortunately have been in Tata Group for close to 2.5 years, handling Tata brand for entrepreneurship, education, sports, and health. We run the largest program, 7.5 years called Tata First Law. 7,000 plus student entrepreneurs we have nurtured. 30 students, we have given them scholarship, mentored them, sponsored them, and made sure that they are industry fit, and we have brought them in the Tata Fold. As you rightly said, industry wants. And sir said, I'm so privileged to sit next to you, sir. Industry is willing. The only thing which is waiting, which sir said, Uthahu Ram Bhanjahu Bhavachapa Metahu Tat Janak Parita. Please prepare the students as educational. Industry is willing to do anything and everything. And mind it, the gap is in our minds. I handle people from IIMs. I'm handling people from other institutions, equally reputed. The IQ level is similar. It is the opportunity which matters.
So once you are ready with us, we are most welcome to have you on board. For any projects, anything you want us to do, we'll be more than happy to. Thank you, sir. I hope I have answered it perfectly. And Prestige, I also like to thank the family over here. Prestige has added prestige not only to Gwalior, but to all the alumni who have passed from the last 23 years. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
So very finely elaborated by Dr. Shemenji. Continuing what you said कि जो गैप है वो केवल माइंड में है, उस माइंड गैप से बीइंग एन एविड राइटर दो लाइन मुझे भी याद आ गई कि हम कौन कहता है आसमान में सुराग नहीं हो सकता, कौन कहता है आसमान में सुराग नहीं हो सकता, एक बार तबीयत से पत्थर तो चालू है. तो दिस इज फॉर यू और यंग ब्लड. तो बिकॉज हमने बात करी कि एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप इज द की ड्राइवर. एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का फील वो इग्नाइट अंदर माइंड के अंदर, वो हार्ट के अंदर बर्निंग होना चाहिए, एंड दैट हैज टू बी rooted from the academic level, from the parenting, from the nurturing level. So entrepreneurship की हम बात कर रहे हैं और हमारे पास एक very successful entrepreneurship story के साथ में हमको महेश्वरी बैठे हैं. तो सर I wanted to understand from you जो current dynamics हैं आज की डेट में. This is very challenging. कहना तो आसान है कि भाई entrepreneur बनिए, entrepreneur बन के देश की सेवा करिए, देश की इकोनॉमी के विकास रथ में अपना योगदान दीजिए. But is it really that easy? Is it really that viable to establish a cash minting business rather than a cash burning business? Sir, I'm good.
Thank you, Prabhat. First of all, thank you, Dr. Joshi, for inviting me here. And I'm glad that I'm sitting amongst such established list of panelists. And I'm amazed to see that their backgrounds and what all they have done. So in terms of academia, I'm not as great as you guys, but I'm an entrepreneur, and so I would speak something on this. Also, I'll try to say something on what has been talked about, the industry academia partnership. So it's very important, the partnership, first of all, should not be one way. It is needed both ways. In the industry also, we need academic discussions, new academic knowledge. We have to unlearn, we have to relearn many times. So we also go back to academics a lot of times. So for example, I represent an association called Indian Association of Amusement Parks and Industries. I'm vice chairman of that association. So we are in talks with various universities, to prepare a course for us, so that we can go and learn new things. For example, AI, how to implement AI in enhancing efficiencies in our works. So because this is something new, which in our generation, that when we did these studies, we did not learn about it. So the marketing we did 10, 15 years back is no more applicable now. So we have to relearn those things. So we also have to go to academy. Colleges also have to come to industry. It has to be both ways. It is needed for industry also. It is much needed for industry. So Prabhat, you asked the question, is it viable to be an entrepreneur? So this is a very strange question, but it's a valid question which comes to everyone's mind. I should select a job or go for entrepreneurship. What should I do? I would say there is no one answer to it, but then every student must look at the resources the person has. Right? You have to be resourceful when you are an entrepreneur. So entrepreneurship in the beginning can be a cash burning thing, but then if you are successful, it can earn unlimited amount of money. Again, it depends on the business you want to do. But it depends on the scalability of the business that you're doing. So I would say when students ask me, when my family children ask me, okay, what should I do? I have this particular piece of idea in my mind. Should I go for it, or should I look at joining a good company? And I would say being an entrepreneur and having a good job, both are equally good. I would rate entrepreneur as high because even Sundar Pichai was a job seeker. He started from scratch and he has reached the top. Correct. So it's not necessary that you can show your entrepreneurship skills by starting a new company. You can also show your skills in working with companies. So this is one very important thing. You should not think that if someone is entrepreneur, then it's the best thing in the world. It's not like that. Again, should you go for your entrepreneurship or not? I would say it depends on the resources your family has, the resources you have. So kind of money, kind of background, kind of lands. For example, if you are starting a factory, if you have land or not, buying a new land and starting a factory, it's not that easy. There are lots of difficulties. Prabhat, you work with MSME companies. You know this. So lots of hurdles, lots of issues, labor issues, governmental issues. Rat tape is still there, right? So we should look at the resources we have, and doing a good job is you can show your entrepreneurship skills in your job as well. This is my view.
So very informative words you express to us. और हमने बड़ी डायनामिक्स की बातें कर ली हैं, इंडस्ट्री के बारे में, एकेडमिक्स के बारे में, बहुत मैक्रो बातें हम कर रहे हैं, मुझे ऐसा अभी तक लगा। तो मैक्रो से थोड़ा सा माइक्रो में आने की आवश्यकता है, और हम ग्वालियर में बैठे हैं और गाला ऋषि की तपोभूमि में बैठे हैं। ग्वालियर की बात ना हो तो ऐसा लाजमी है कि हमारे संस्था के मुखिया डॉक्टर निशांत हमारे साथ हैं। तो आपसे सब समझना चाहूंगा ग्वालियर के डायनामिक्स को। बाहर से काफी गेस्ट आए हैं, ग्वालियर का भी यूथ ब्लड है, so they want to have about a view from you कि ग्वालियर के स्टूडेंट्स के लिए what opportunities they have to shine, staying in ग्वालियर, studying in ग्वालियर। ग्वालियर के डायनामिक्स को आपसे बेहतर कोई नहीं समझ सकता है, जिस तरीके से आपने इस संस्थान को स्क्रैच से शाइन तक लेके गए हैं। want to understand from you।
To be honest, this is a 26-year-old institution, so I've not done scratch to shine. I'm just trying to shine it further. It's already shining. So I'm also not from Gwalior, but what I've understood in my tenure for last couple of years is that it's mythical to say that Gwalior has any kind of geographic disadvantage. On the contrary, it has geographic advantage. The problem per se the location had was the virtual unavailability of the AV road for a good 10 years. Now that whole issue has been resolved, the geographic vicinity that Gwalior enjoys with the major cities across India and specifically to the north of India, the connectivity is merely fantastic. If that's true, then industry generally prefers to have a location where multi-dimensional logistic challenges are resolved. So we have industry leaders here. I also have some amount of industry experience. And I'm telling you that if you want to establish a manufacturing setup, you want to establish a service setup which largely services say nationally, then you need central locations like Gwalior. So we earlier the city had issues per se, the problem of the labor unions and the political issues. But I think we have largely understood the fact that growth and development does require industry to come in and function. And if industry comes in and functions, then it becomes a symbiotic relationship and it's an automated generation. So the whole commerce increases by leaps and bounds, which would then entail in the movement of good amount of GDP that gets generated, and then the money multiplier effect starts to take place. And I think we are on the brink of the cusp of this revolution happening, because the politicians, the administrations, the academia, the public at large, the pillars of a society are more like aligned to do this. That's the reason we are having such discussions more than a couple of times in the city. And if all this is true, even though at this stage, if it is hypothetical, and if this is true, then we reaching where we want to reach as a city is not far off. It will just take 2-3 years, and we'll be just there like any other city. So if you take example of Indore, which happens to be the financial capital of this state, the GDP of Indore is 90% of the GDP of Madhya Pradesh. So why Indore has been able to do that is virtually because of those two industrial estates on both sides of the city, along with the mindset of the public, which is commerce driven and the academia there also focusing in the same line. So what happens is the whole society moves in the same direction, and that's how that city is virtually developing on its own. It's not on any kind of government funding that that city is developing. So the same effect happening in Gwalior may be late, but it is happening, and we must all push it further. And I think it should not be later than sooner that we can witness the same kind of development here also. And you yourself are deeply into MSME and their financial needs, and thus you are more deeply understanding the whole thing. So you will be better off telling us the numbers. So what kind of MSME development is happening in Gwalior? So I leave that part to you to give us those numbers.
Rightly said, Dr. Nisha. Being a MSME consultant, closely working with more than 5,000 MSMEs presently, we are definitely assured of the fact that Gwalior is going to have a very bright future, considering the geographical presence we have, considering the advantages we have in terms of the agro commodities. Gwalior is definitely going to outshine nearby cities due to the support they have from the suburbs. Due to just that, what is needed, what you rightly said, is the mindset. We are very far in terms of that commerce-driven mindset in comparison to Indore or other cities. So just that mindset is needed. Otherwise, we have all the capabilities, and the central government, the state governments, the kind of, I can vouch, the kind of policies they have for growing the MSMEs of Madhya Pradesh, that is nowhere lesser than any other state of the country. Our policies are the best in terms of the incentivization, in terms of subsidies. So we are rightly poised to have that growth. Just that mindset is needed. Otherwise, the MSMEs are definitely going to have a good future, and Gwalior is definitely going to give good MSMEs in terms of ancillary industries or the primary industries. So coming back to the basic theme of the today's session is industry academia partnership. So Arun Tivnak sir, I am coming to you. So when we were talking about the industry collaborations, so because you have traveled across the world and you have that international exposure, so we want to understand how the international collaborations can benefit the education institutions of the country. What kind of collaborations are needed to drive that innovation? Want to understand from you.
Well, I think that you were talking about Indore and Gwalior. So just one factor when I was coming, I was talking to the professor. I said, look, Indore has consistently marketed and branded itself as the cleanest city of India. Now that is something that also now everybody has come to know of Indore like that. You know, all over India. So this is not a big deal, that if one municipality can do it, I think all municipalities can do it. I was speaking to the Municipal Commissioner of Ayodhya, Vishal Singh, and I told him, learn from Indore. I mean, you're going to build a beautiful Ayodhya now, so might as well use that to continue, because unfortunately our religious places are somewhat thin. Coming to your question, you know, like basically let me just give you a context. Because of the Sino-US competition, which is going on, China and America के बीच में झगड़ा चल रहा है, trade और geopolitical contestation, उसकी वजह से बहुत सारी कंपनियां जो हैं वो देख रही हैं कहाँ जाएं। तो ज्यादातर ने जो मॉडल लिया है वो है चाइना +1. तो ये चाइना में तो रहेंगे ही, it's a big market, but at the same time they want to go to another country. Now another country कौन सा है? Another country है India या South Asian country, Southeast Asian countries, Vietnam, Thailand, ये सारे country. हुआ ये कि मान लीजिए 100 कंपनीज अगर वहां से चली, तो हिंदुस्तान में सिर्फ 3 या 4 या 5 कंपनियां हैं. तो कारण उसका सभी तो गवर्नमेंट को करना पहले, अट्रैक्टिवनेस ऑफ द कंट्री, पीपीआई, इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म, ये सारी चीजें जो है अट्रैक्ट करती है. दूसरी चीज मार्केटिंग. आपको अपने कंट्री को क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज है. देखिए बड़ी बड़ी जो कंपनीज होती हैं वो तो बड़े बड़े कंसल्टेंट्स को रखती हैं और कंसल्टेंट्स के चर्न आउट दो रिपोर्ट्स सजेस्ट. आज सबको ये तो दिख गया है, because Europe is great. America is also having problems. So they are all looking at new markets where democracy is there, rule of law is there, yet things work faster and more transparent. That is the problem that somehow we have not been able to convince that person. And that comes to the academia comes later. I mean, you need the, what you need? You need resources, you need funding, and you need the human resource. For anything, human resource, the academia can provide. Now, most of these companies, now Chennai is a good example, I would say. Bangalore, of course, we talked about, but Chennai, all these big companies. You know, you have Apple's even there, Hyundai is there. There are several other companies that are located there manufacturing. And all of them have said that we are trying to do it because the good quality skilled manpower is available. So this is also the job. I mean, all these surveys that come will say that so many percent people are unemployable. But that's quite a shame in fact. But at the same time, whose responsibility is going to be there? You need to develop models whereby you train these people on the job. You create some kind of pilot projects of your interest in a particular university or a college or institute. So that is something that is what needs to be done because we don't have that direct sync between the industry or communication gaps. You see, many people may not know what is the best thing about this institute that he mentioned about it. So initially you say that it is here, but one thing today I saw a very interesting report from NASCOM that India is the third largest, as you know, the unicorns produced. And 930 tech startups started last year alone, 2023. Right, economy is 7.3%, the fastest growing major economy. So all these factors are your market tools. You are the largest country, population wise. That means you are one of the biggest markets. You are the largest democracy. You are the fastest growing major economy. So why won't the people come? So economic reforms, that is something, labor reforms are a problem in India. But institutes will also have to market them. Like if you have a collaboration, let us say with another institute abroad, you get known. Many countries do that, various universities, professor is coming from. Can we have a collaborative partnership with them? Can we learn from their best practices? Then those can create some kind of a cyclical advantage for you in that process.
So we all can safely conclude that all indicators are supporting the growth story. जो भी फाइनेंशियल इंडिकेटर्स हैं, चाहे एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सपोर्ट की हम बात करें, चाहे इंडस्ट्री माइंडसेट की बात करें, everything is giving us the theme, giving us a vision that we are going to shine with flying colors. कहीं ना कहीं क्योंकि आपने डेमोक्रेसी की बात कही, the whole world is watching us. तो मैं डॉक्टर मनोजन आपसे समझना चाहूंगा एक चीज कि जो हमारा पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम है करंटली, वी आर वेरी क्लोज टू द लोकसभा इलेक्शंस नाउ, एंड हम एकेडमिया की कितनी भी बात करें, क्योंकि इंडस्ट्री पे हम लोग लार्जली डिपेंडेंट हैं, उनकी परफॉर्मेंस पे, उनके माइंडसेट पे डिपेंडेंट है, एंड यू आर क्लोजली वर्किंग विद मेजर कॉर्पोरेट्स व्हाइल रेटिंग देम एज अ चीफ इकोनॉमिस्ट एट अ रेटिंग एजेंसी. तो आप किस तरीके से देख पा रहे हैं करंट सिनेरियो को कि एवरी बिग कॉर्पोरेट इज करंटली ऑन अ वेट एंड वॉच, और या वो लोग एश्योर्ड हैं कि irrespective of the government, their growth story will remain intact and will remain unimpacted?
Well, thank you for the interesting question. If you place things in a proper historical and comparative perspective, you'll find that at the macro level, at all India level, corporates have recorded a growth, top line growth of 20%, which is exceptionally good. Now going forward, we had a lot of discussions with the corporate bigger houses, anecdotal evidence, also data put out in the public domain by the government of India through their publications such as the economic survey. Most of you students and teachers are aware that the public economic survey published by the Ministry of Finance of the government of India is the most authoritative document and has been so for the last 50, 70 years. It's placed on the floor of the parliament on the date preceding the presentation of the union budget by the Honorable Finance Minister. The Reserve Bank puts into public domain things like report on currency and finance, handbook of statistics, you look at World Bank data set, you look at IMF, OECD. So the India growth story is certainly here to stay. Corporates are going to play increasingly important role, and you see see manifestations of this everywhere, not just, for example, I don't know, some of the students, maybe some teachers may be interested in the India's capital market, maybe you could be invested in capital market, scaling last 2, 3 years, there is some kind of a minor hiccup, got about 200, 300 points, but then it's still consistently above 70,000 PAC index, Nifty over 20,000 going forward because of the India growth story, because of the rise in corporate profitability, or at least the sustenance of this level of profit. Someone mentioned about unicorn startups, all these are manifestations, are clear indications that India has acquired its own place in the sun. But before I conclude, let me strike a note of dissonance here, note of discordant, that someone said, other speakers also mentioned, India has done very well. Yeah, we are the fifth largest economy. All this is certainly true, but we have also to look at the base. यहाँ सभी के टेबल पे पानी का ग्लास रखा है, आप किसी बोतल को देखेंगे आधा पानी है, अगर आप अनिल जी बोल देंगे कि ये बोतल आधी खाली है तो सही होंगे, मैं बोलूंगा आधी खाली है तो मैं भी सही हूँगा। तो लाइक इंडियंस डेटा में भी एक सबसे खराब चीज होती है जिसको हम बोलते हैं as an chartered accountant, as economist, as financial, we are trained not to lie. But data में उससे भी खराब चीज है what you call cherry picking, और दुर्भाग्यवश हिंदुस्तान में इसकी बहुत पुरानी सैकड़ों साल पुरानी परंपरा है। अगर महाभारत में जाएं तो महाभारत में बताया गया था अश्वत्थामा हतो नरो नकुंजरो। मेरे पास समय नहीं है जाने के लिए, शायद ज्यादा लोगों को कहानियां, तो इसमें एक दूसरा साइड है। We can certainly take pride in the fact that we are the fifth largest economy in the world today. We are something like 3.8 trillion US dollar economy. We are going to cross 5 trillion in possibly 2 years. By 2030, we'll be third largest economy. Point well taken. But as I said, you also have to look at the flip side. बोतल का पानी आधा भरा है, मेरे ख्याल किसी हिंदी पिक्चर का बच्चे लोग काफी हैं वो पिक्चर देखते होंगे, शाहरुख खान की ओम शांति ओम का एक बहुत फेमस क्लासिक डायलॉग है, पिक्चर अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त। So the other side, flip side is there are different ways of comparison, the performance of countries and individuals, institutions can be. But despite all, I don't have time to go into those methodological deficiencies. But by and large, it's accepted across the world that despite its deficiencies, the one most fair and the transparent and the credible method of cross-country comparison is in terms of per capita income. Now, we may be at the fifth largest economy in the world, but if you look at the economy which you have pushed to the sixth slot, United Kingdom, Great Britain, which ruled over us for a period of something like 200 odd years. Now, if we look at income in India in per capita terms, obviously with all those riders, qualifications, caveats, you will find that India's per capita income is still something like 2,400 US dollars. Whereas if you look at the position in the United Kingdom, it's something like 44,000 US dollars. So there is a humongous difference. There is a whopping difference. जैसे हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं 19-20 का फर्क नहीं है, जमीन आकाश का फर्क है. No, a lot of catching up to do. As I said earlier, miles to go before I sleep. So we have done brilliantly. But then this pace must be continued, and it is only then that we'll be able to meet the challenges of today and the expectations of tomorrow. We have a lot of young population, and we have a different kind of revolution. India, the revolution of rising expectations. So if we are to meet the revolution of rising expectations today, all these things must continue on the steady growth path over the medium term. As economists, we never said long term because I don't know, some of you may recall, was the most famous economist, Lord James Keynes, said in 1930s, in the long run, we are all dead. तो आप भी नहीं रहेंगे, हम भी नहीं रहेंगे, दो बार, इसलिए we don't say deliberately, we say over the medium term. Over the medium term, we should consistently do well, and then obviously we'll have a much more greater heft and clout at the global high table. Thank you.
The very noteworthy points you have shared, Dr. Manoj, and वर्तमान सुंदर है, भविष्य सुनहरा होगा, ऐसी हम सभी को आशा है. And the futuristic talks need to be done. Future के बारे में सीखना आवश्यक है. And lot of things are happening now about data science, data learning, data mining, artificial intelligence. So, Dr. Paul, I want to understand from you, what is your take on these big concepts which our young blood is quite scary about कि आने वाला भविष्य उनके लिए suitable है या नहीं है? Will they be able to fit in these big jargons, big data mining, data science things? So,
Yeah, I think we have to embrace the digital tools because it is an era of digital transformation. In case we haven't learned ChatGPT, for example, it is high time that you have to learn and leverage it. There are a lot of usage of new generation or newborn AI tools. So, and education institutions also need to incorporate that very quickly in the curriculum. In case it is not in the syllabus, there has to be some workshop for the benefit of the students. And students need to learn it very quickly, different aspects of how to leverage it. For example, ChatGPT can write or rewrite your English letters that you will be sending for applying for jobs, your cover letters. I mean, it's the power of improving your English language right up. I mean, right language quality, for example. There are so many other usages of those kind of AI tools as well, or any of those concepts that you talked about on the digital tools. And in addition to that, I can also talk about mobile apps. Mobile apps are useful for each and everything that we do. So it's you know, starting with the airline flight check-in to your own dating, because I see many young people. So you can save a lot of time. E-banking app, you know, mobile banking apps and food delivery applications. So don't expect that all the women will cook for the boys here, also in future. So they are not going to cook. So you will end up ordering, or you will have to order your food online. This is in the new generation, in the new century. All these online apps, mobile apps, you know, so you know about Zomato and Swiggy and Uber Eats, and maybe more and more will come up. All these, in addition to the point that you talk about, all these are the norms of the day. And we have to leverage it, and those who will leverage it, those who learn to use it for the maximum benefits, they will save time, they will save money too. Digi Yatra is a new concept that has come up. I already used in several Indian airports during last 2 weeks. I was in India, and it saves a lot of your time. When you can upload your boarding pass after you check in, after you check-in, upload your boarding pass or take a picture or scan it, and I mean on your mobile app. You have the Digi Yatra app, and there is a separate line at almost all Indian airports. There you can save you a lot of time. Otherwise, you might miss your flight. If you don't use Digi Yatra, you have to stand in the manual line where policeman is going to frisk you and policeman is going to ask you. And even I can tell you an example. A lady was standing next to me before I downloaded the Digi Yatra app. And this lady is a 70-year-old or 70 or 72-year-old looking lady, but she has on her Aadhaar card, she has a young photo, look like a 30-year-old or 25-year-old girl. Policeman is not agreeing to her that this is the same lady. One policeman is actually not only creating problem for that lady, everybody standing behind the lady was also wasting their time. So if you have Digi Yatra, you are saving a lot of your time, for example. So all these, including all the new generation tools, we have to embrace it very quickly. You can embrace it at the speed of light, you will be the ultimate beneficiaries, no doubt.
right. तो दौर आधुनिकता का है, दौर डिजिटलाइजेशन का है. हम सभी युवाओं को इस बात का ध्यान रखना होगा कि हम दौड़ में ना भागें, हम ज्ञान के लिए चलें. Once we are able to allow us to get embedded into the digitalization, So growth is just the parallel process. क्योंकि सर वसीम जी आपसे बात जानना चाहूंगा, बात हो रही है आधुनिकता की, बात हो रही है डिजिटाइजेशन की. सो amidst this all race and humongous things of digitization, often क्योंकि आप एक बहुत बड़ी टीम को लीड करते हैं हैवेल्स में, सो किस तरीके से व्हाट इज योर पीस ऑफ एडवाइस which youth need to keep in their mind while being in the race of digitalization, कि किस तरीके से वो अपने पर्सनल लाइफ को, अपनी वर्क लाइफ को एक बैलेंस मेंटेन करें so that they can have that mental health.
मैं जब एमबीए की क्लासेस को एड्रेस करता हूँ तो बोलता हूँ कि एमबीए का फुल फॉर्म क्या है, वो कहते हैं मास्टर ऑफ बिजनेस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. मेरा मानना है ये एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन वर्ड जो कॉपी हुआ है वो आईएएस से हुआ है, क्योंकि आप एमबीए करने के बाद में कोई डिस्ट्रिक्ट कमिश्नर नहीं बनने वाले, कोई पुलिस कमिश्नर बनने वाले नहीं, और ऑफिस में एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की कोई रोल नहीं है आपका. एमबीए का फुल फॉर्म होना चाहिए मास्टर ऑफ एडेप्टेशन. आपको लाइफ में अब जाके अडेप्ट करना है. जब तक की आपकी लाइफ जो थी वो थी फिक्स्ड काइंड ऑफ लाइफ. आपको पता है कि 40 बच्चे क्लास में हैं, 40 ही आगे आएंगे और आपकी सीट रिजर्व्ड है. पर जब आप टाइम लिमिट आपके पास में है कि इस क्लास को पास करना और पास फेल हो रहे हो, लाइफ में जाने के बाद में आप इनफाइनाइट लाइफ में जा रहे हो. कंपटीशन कभी भी आ सकता है, कोई भी रूल चेंज हो सकते हैं, कभी भी कुछ हो सकता है. तो आपको अपने पास से अडेप्ट होना बहुत जरूरी है. आपने बात करी बैलेंस के लिए, इसमें आई यूज टू गिव एन एग्जांपल कि लेमन एंड स्पून रेस में हु विंस द रेस, द पर्सन हु इज रनिंग फास्ट or the person whose lemon or the marble is in the spoon? The answer is the person whose lemon, whose marble or lemon is in the spoon. तो जिंदगी की दौड़ में दौड़ते दौड़ते तीन चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हैं. वन इज योर हेल्थ, सेकेंड इज योर फैमिली एंड थर्ड इज योर रिलेशनशिप. हेल्थ इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. My father lived for more than 100 years and he gave me one gyan: eat less, be disciplined, then the body will take care of you. First is health, second is family. In COVID, we came to know how important is our family. And 30 years down the line, I attended a Shivpera program and he asked the question, who is the most important person in your life? 1 मिनट तक सन्नाटा छा गया, कौन important? उसके बाद लगा कि your family is the most important. And he asked the second question, who is the most important one? Who is the most neglected one? And the answer came same as the family, because we take it granted. We never say thank you to our wife or to our children or to our parents for taking care of us. आज हम सब लोग जो बैठे हैं, हम सब लोगों के पीछे फैमिली का बहुत बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है. हम कई बार बोलते हैं वर्ड वी आर अ सेल्फ मेड पर्सन. नोबडी इज अ सेल्फ मेड. माँ ने आपको जो पाला है, आपको जो बाप ने पाला है, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है. आपके भाई बहन सबका रोल रहता है. फैमिली इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड थर्ड थिंग इज द रिलेशनशिप. Why I have come to this forum as Gwalior, sitting from Delhi, बहुत ठंड थी. मेरे को लग रहा था रजाई में बैठे बैठे अच्छा लग रहा है, ऑनलाइन चल रहा है सब कुछ. मैं पूछ रहा था ऑनलाइन कर लो अच्छा रहेगा, नहीं इन्होंने कहा नहीं आपको आना पड़ेगा. रिलेशनशिप बिल्ड करने के लिए आते हैं. I think so these three things are very very important for our family. And one last advice to all of you is, बेटा मोबाइल के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा ध्यान देने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. और जितनी पढ़ाई करनी, ये उसके बाद में आपकी लर्निंग होनी चाहिए, बिकॉज योर अर्निंग इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू योर लर्निंग. आज सुंदर पिचोई जी का नाम दिया, उनकी एनुअल सैलरी और एनुअल इनकम इज 1500 करोड़ पर एनम. कैलकुलेट कर लेना जाके, जीरो आपके मोबाइल से बाहर निकल जाएंगे. 15,000 करोड़ को जब लिखने शुरू कर दोगे जीरो लगाने, तो आज की डेट में शर्मा जी पार्डन मी फॉर सेइंग दिस, मैंने कभी अंडररेट किया उसको नहीं किया इंस्टीट्यूट को. मेरा मानना ये है कि ये इंस्टीट्यूट 10 गुना बाहर और पहले, क्योंकि आपके जैसे अच्छे लोग अगर कहीं बाहर जाएंगे तो और अच्छा रहेगा. और फिर मैंने दोबारा ये कहा कि IIM सर 20 IIM है, 20 ही IIT है, 10 लाख बच्चे IIT के लिए अप्लाई करते हैं, 6,000 वैकेंसीज है. ऐसा तो नहीं ना कि जो बच्चे रह जाते हैं वो कहीं फेल हो जाएंगे. मैं इसीलिए इंपॉर्टेंस देता हूँ कि सर फेलियर इज नॉट ए ऑपोजिट ऑफ सक्सेस, फेलियर इज अ पार्ट ऑफ सक्सेस. और लास्ट में मैं बोलूंगा इनके लिए, जोशी जी के लिए और जैन साहब के लिए, वो कहते हैं समय नदी की धार की अक्सर सब बह जाया करते हैं, है समय बड़ा बलवान प्रबल पर्वत झुक जाया करते हैं. अक्सर दुनिया में लोग समय में चक्कर खाया करते हैं, पर कुछ जैन साहब और जोशी जी या बाकी जैसे होते हैं जो इतिहास बनाया करते हैं, बिकॉज दे आर रोटी कपड़ा मकान के बाद में ज्ञान ही ऐसी चीज है जो बांटने से कभी कम नहीं होता और कभी चोरी भी नहीं हो सकता. आई थिंक ये जो लोग कर रहे हैं बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, और ये लोग हम लोगों को बुलाते हैं तो हम भी सोचते हैं कि यार कुछ ना कुछ तो हम भी लाइफ में किसी को किसी भी फील्ड से कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं, तो एक अच्छी बात.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. तो आज ये जो इंडस्ट्री अकेडमी या पार्टनरशिप की जो टीम थी, कहीं ना कहीं इसमें हमने स्पिरिचुअलिज्म का पार्ट भी जोड़ने का प्रयास किया है वसीम जी के थ्रू। और बात हमने करी तनाव मैनेजमेंट की, स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट की, साइकोलॉजिकल बैलेंस की, वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस की। इसी को थोड़ा सा कंटिन्यू करते हुए डॉक्टर शिविन आपसे समझना चाहता हूँ, द वे यू आर लीडिंग अ बिग जायंट टाटा एआईए, उसकी बड़ी टीम को आप हैंडल करते हैं, तो उस हैंडलिंग के अंदर आप यू कम अक्रॉस n number of applicants, interns who are trying to shape their future with a private sector company. Tata is a big group, but at the end it is a private sector company जो इस जनरल माइंडसेट है यूथ ब्लड का। उनके माइंड में एक डर है कि एट्रिशन रेट इज वेरी हाई एट प्राइवेट सेक्टर, सो दे कीप एंड ऑन ट्राइंग फॉर द गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स। ये जो माइंडसेट है ये कब टूटेगा? वो दौर कब आएगा कि जब हमारे माइंड से ये पार्ट निकल जाएगा कि गवर्नमेंट जॉब इज नॉट द ओनली सेफ लैंड टू रिजॉर्ट फॉर, रादर प्राइवेट सेक्टर एक शाइनिंग एरिया है जहां मैं अपना एक सुनहरा भविष्य बना सकता हूँ।
Thank you, sir. Two things. You name a company in India which is 155 years old, which is a government institution company. Do we have? It's the business houses which have from managing agency system, from traders, from manufacturers, have become industrialists and are running the show for the country. Right. Again, I'll come back to two things, what you said. The first thing, and rightly I'll answer, my screen saver says, your reaction is the one which determines your thought process. You are the one who decides how you will react to a situation, be it a private job, be a government job. Second, spiritual, yes, I have pressure and my stress buster is in my pocket 24/7. The third thing which I would say is 4 words from Tata. You have to be truthful to yourself, truthful to the organization. There is no insecurity in the job if you are truthfully doing the job. Be agile. Agility is the key to success for all future careers, any profession that you follow. Third is be tactful. Please understand, tact is the fact of life. Unless you are tactful enough to handle a situation, you will never be able to overcome the challenges which are. Sir is there, you people have, I think, truckloads of experience you have in handling situations which are nail biting for others, but tactfully you have been able to handle it. And third is be ambitious. Government jobs or private jobs, unless you are yourself ambitious, will never give you a security. So from Tata, I have given you 2 T's and 2 A's, and I'll rest my case.
वेरी राइटली सेड। तो युवा को एक दिशा दी है आपने, युवा को एक बड़े संक्षिप्त में अपने आपने बात कही, एंड डेफिनेटली दीज यूथ ब्लड्स will definitely have your piece of advice to be tactful, and tactful तो होना ही है, but tactful होने से आगे की राह आसान होनी। बात को अंतिम पड़ाव पे ले जाते हुए मैं अंकुर आपसे समझना चाहूंगा एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, क्योंकि आप मास्टर हैं। तो आज हम बात तो करते हैं एमएसएमईज की, यस गवर्नमेंट है हमारे साथ प्रशासन हमारे साथ है, ऑल सिस्टम इज देयर विद यू, यू जस्ट हैव दैट इग्नाइट इन योर माइंड। ये कहने में अच्छा लगता है, सुनने में अच्छा लगता है, बट बीइंग अ एंटरप्रेन्योर आप क्या कहेंगे कि बिना कैपिटल के, बिना फंड्स के क्या कोई बिजनेस थ्राइव कर सकता है? नहीं कर सकता, दैट इज ओपन आंसर। बट आज की डेट में जो करंट डायनामिक्स है, जो करंट सिनेरियो है, is the availability of that fund, is the availability of the capital from banking system or from investor, is it that easy, or it is a very tough task, it's a tedious task?
That's a very important question, Pravas, and in one sense, every one of us has this in mind when we start a venture, and it is easy and tough at the same time. I would say if you have a business idea and you don't have your own resources, and then you go and present your business to investors, there is a possibility that if your business proposal is liked by everyone, you might get a seed funding or seed capital. Some venture capitalists might be interested in you. I have people in my family, this company called Physics Wala. He's my niece. And in COVID, he started this online tutorials on so many subjects, and he was recently a $3.8 billion company. So this is an example. He didn't have money, so he started from scratch. He was working with Byju's, and then he started on his own venture. And then 3 years time now he is $3.8 billion. So there are examples which are there where people have got success. Raising money is not so difficult in these times. Now, but in the times of Shark Tanks and getting popular, there are people, there are incubator companies. There are companies like Tata, for example, who are incubating so many entrepreneurs. So there are, you need to know from where to pitch your business proposal, where to pitch your business plan. So this is one thing. And taking bank loans has become tougher from previous times, owing to the recent episodes of Lalit Modi and all those. Sorry. Yeah. So all those cases, taking bank loans has become tougher. It takes a lot of time now. Even if you want to mortgage a property, it takes a good 3-4 months at least. Maybe 2 months if you have good relations with the banker. But then there are a lot of companies, a lot of individuals, also a lot of private equity, venture capitalist companies, which are willing to invest in right companies, right business ideas.
What can be concluded from your words कि idea अच्छा होना चाहिए, business model should be fruitful, idea केवल होने से वो business remunerative नहीं हो सकता है. We have been closely interacting with many seed funders, investors, and the private equity firms. If your business model is proven in a short span, although in 6 months, although if you are able to prove that yes, this is a cash minting business, in a later stage you can get the capital. And being an MSME consultant, I can vouch, even the bankers are reluctant to fund you provided you have that proven model of establishing that supply chain. आज की डेट में सब कुछ बनाना आसान है, फंड अरेंज करना भी आसान है. You need to start from the last step, that is your market. If you are able to deliver your market strength, every banker, every lender, and every fund, or either be it a private equity or other, they are ready to invest in you, and you can have a good growth story. So अंतिम पड़ाव पे सर ले जाएंगे. निशांत सर, आपसे समझना चाहेंगे आखिरी बात, क्योंकि आज हमारे साथ कमिश्नर साहब वैसे आने अब प्रत्याशित थे, बट बिकॉज ही इज नॉट विद अस, सो वो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पार्ट वाला थोड़ा सा एक डिस्कशन है which was pretty crucial considering this theme of industry academia partnership. जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की तरफ से जो आज की डेट में न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी आई हमारे बीच, और भी कई सारे रिफॉर्म्स लेके आए हैं एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, बट व्हाट डू यू फील, आर वी एट द राइट जंक्चर राइट नाउ to have that fruitful industry academia partnership considering the support from administration?
So there are two aspects to your question. I think you want to ask, is the policy favorable?
Yes, correct. So we need to understand about the policy framework from you and what changes you expect should be there.
So the macro policy which the government probably made on a very large canvas appears to be interesting. But the issue is that Indian Constitution provides states the flexibility for education. So education falls in the concurrent list of the Constitution, because of which each state is implementing NEP according to their own understanding, and then there are political motives. Now the administrative part, which we have a representation from the administration somehow. So administrators eventually will implement policies which the government wishes to. They don't have much of a choice to debate on that path. So I'll say that yes, on a macro canvas, we do have a policy which appears to be interesting. How it is implemented in each state is a big question. How it is getting implemented is a very critical affair. So at this stage, we are nowhere closer. And if we were very close, then need for doing such a conference and doing such detailed deliberations would not have cropped up. So there is a long path to to go. And how Dr. Manoranjan gave up the cherry picking of data, that's also a big issue that we are facing. We're very conveniently picking up data, numbers, and we're printing and presenting it versus what's happening in reality. So I think there's still substantial path to be followed before we have a very streamlined and structured policy available. And administration, I think, can only do away by implementing policy which is probably proposed by the government.
So we can conclude thankfully and very fruitfully and with a very ray of positive in our heart that India shining is not a myth. India shining is a true story, very feasible story, very viable story, and Gwalior is committed to contribute largely to that story. The youth blood of Gwalior is committed. They are disciplined, they are dedicated, and they will contribute largely to the growth story of $5 trillion economy. Today, we all gathered here to have this insightful talk. We discussed about industry, we discussed about academics, we discussed about the growth story, the positives, the aspects, the negative aspects. So we all had a very holistic view of this industry academia partnership, and a huge accolade for Team Prestige for organizing this and taking this initiative. A huge round of applause for Team Prestige. And undoubtedly, thank you for giving me this opportunity to moderate this elite panel. And with words of Mahatma Gandhi, I'll close. Be the change you wish to see the change in the world. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Over to the Anup.
Thank you, Prabhat sir. Thank you so much, sirs. It was indeed an insightful panel discussion. I would like to thank each of the panelists on behalf of Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Gwalior, for the insightful discussion we had today. We sincerely appreciate your invaluable contribution and sparing time for all of us. Thank you so much once again. I hope students will learn from your varied experiences. Keep your dreams alive. Understand that to achieve anything you require faith and belief, vision and hard work, determination and dedication. With these words, I would like to invite Honorable Days to unveil the souvenir of the 15th International Conference 2024 and brochure of the 16th International Conference 2025, along with e-banners of the 5th Finance Seminar and 4th Marketing Seminar. Sirs, please. Thank you all. I request all of you to please take your seats. We have some more brochures. Thank you, sir. In the words of John Quincy Adams, if your actions inspires others to dream more, to learn more, to do more, and to become more, then you are a true leader. With the above words, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Nishant Joshi, Director, PIMR Gwalior, to confer the Outstanding Alumni Award 2023-24.
Good afternoon to all of you. So it is morning to afternoon, and we have a lot of young MBA students sitting here. So imagine an MBA school which started in a rented premise. किराए के भवन में संस्था शुरू हुआ. चतुर्वेदी मैंशन शायद संस्था का जगह का नाम था उस बिल्डिंग का. उस बिल्डिंग के सामने की तरफ रोड के दूसरी साइड में चाय की छोटी सी दुकान. उसके ऊपर शायद उस बैच के सारे स्टूडेंट्स रोड क्रॉस करके जाके चाय पीते थे. सो हमारा आउटस्टैंडिंग एलुमनाई जो था वो भी थोड़ा सा तो आउटस्टैंडिंग था ही. सो ही वाज आल्सो अराउंड देयर. सो इन हिज ओन वर्ड्स थोड़ा सा मेरा उसके साथ डिस्कशन हुआ तो उसके अपने शब्दों में ये था कि सर मैं तो सेकंड डिविजनर था बट लाइफ में प्रोग्रेस कर लिया. और लाइफ में कितना प्रोग्रेस कर लिया इज अ बिगर क्वेश्चन. सो हमारा जो लास्ट आउटस्टैंडिंग एलुमनाई हमने दिया, इंसिडेंटली हिज नेम वाज सीमांत. सो सीमांत had no CMAs, and incidentally the outstanding alumni that we have this year was not only the outstanding alumni who was hanging around in all what was available in Gwalior. He came from a background which had academic flavors. Mother was an academician and संस्कृत academician. इसकी वजह से इनको विरासत में संस्कृत मिल गई है, ये बोलते भी हैं उसके अंदर. And his deep understanding to those scriptures is also evidently available, and we have all been witness to it. नाम इतना इंटरेस्टिंग है कि उसको गूगल पे सर्च करें तो उसका मतलब आता है क्षमा का देवता. आप लोग कर सकते हैं, कुशलता का देवता. So the name is very interesting. From a school called St. Paul's to PIMR, from PIMR to one of the most valued company in India for 13 years in Tata. Probably going and doing his PhD from an IIM, and still not forgetting his alma mater. We have Kshamendra Sharma, who's the outstanding alumni. We confer the award to him. We are so thankful that he has come all the way to Gwalior, irrespective of the fact that he says that मैं यहाँ कभी कभी आता हूँ. So शायद we had the pull enough that he is here with us, and we wish him all the success in his life. And I want to read the citation of his award. Outstanding Alumni Award 2023-24 is conferred on Dr. Kshamendra Sharma, MBA 1999-2001 batch, for his outstanding achievements and accomplishments as trainer, motivator, researcher, and industry leader in his professional journey on the occasion of the 15th PIMA Gwalior International Conference. Wish him all the luck and success for his future endeavors. On behalf of Prestige Education Foundation Chairman Governing Body, Dr. Dipin Jain, and myself and my whole team of faculties and students.
Thank you so much, sirs.
I'm really thankful to all of you. From the depth of my heart, I had never imagined that the institute where I've studied, I will never come and get recognized. But the other part of the story is because as a communicator, I got my name because my mother was doing a PhD in Kavik Shemin, who was a Sanskrit poet and a king of Kashmir. So coincidences have been very happy with me. Joining Prestige, as I said, and I mentioned, and I, not only for me, it is a learning for all of you. We, our batch, had a choice of getting into the best of the institutes in Madhya Pradesh. I think most of us chose Prestige Gwalior because we knew the entrepreneurial spirit of the Jain family. Right. The other challenge is, as you mentioned, the boy on the T, his name was Chotu. He was a Mithun Chakravarti at that point of time. His body language was all of that time. You also asked me a question which you did not mention. From an average, how do you become a brilliant child? Now I contribute this. This is the contribution of my batchmates. All three are sitting in the first row. So I would understand that if they can do it, I should also do it. Right? That the boy thing was there every time. That if the girl can score 89.99, at least I should be 89. So that was a good inspiration. Second thing, sir mentioned, I'll tell you, you had Dungarwal sir. You had the best of the faculty which taught us. People like me who come from a well-established political family were pushed into doing an MBA so that you can have a living, as you said. But, yeah. Huh. Yeah. But I'm telling you, and I'm telling everybody in this hall,
The faculty in Prestige chiseled us out to make us the best management professionals, best academic professionals that we are. And that's what I'm saying, my trust in Prestige grows strength and strength every year when I read the brochure, every year when I see the activity, every time there's a hidden excitement every time when there is an annual or annually meet happening. We all look to the website. What is happening? Kaun aaya, kaun gaya? Who has reached where? Let's keep prestigious spirit. And I wish all the success. I'm really thankful to God Almighty and all of you for recognizing me. It is all because of you. हम तो मिट्टी थे सर, आप कुम्हार थे, आपने हमको गढ़ दिया. अगर विश्वामित्र ना होते तो राम भी ना होते. यहाँ के विश्वामित्र ने हमको राम बनाया और हमने राम को मारा और आज तो जग में जाने जाते. आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और मैं सबका आभारी हूँ, स्पेशली डॉक्टर गरिमा का, डॉक्टर नथानी का और वंदना जी का और मेरे बैचमेट्स का, डॉक्टर रावत का, कि मुझे उन्होंने इस लायक समझा और मौका दिया. आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत सादर.
Thank you so much, Hemendra sir, for gracing us in the occasion. In the words of William Arthur Ward, I quote, "A mediocre teacher tells, a good teacher explains, a superior teacher demonstrates, and a great teacher inspires." With these words, may I have the privilege of inviting Professor Dr. Tarika Singh, Deputy Director, PIMR Gwalior, to confer Management Excellence and Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you, ma'am. So it is with great pleasure today. We hereby recognize and celebrate the excellence in management, and we are thrilled to highlight the achievements made by our recipient, Dr. Manoranjan Sharma. So Dr. Sharma is a gold medalist in postgraduate diploma in business management. He is a seasoned professional with over 3 decades of cross-functional experience and brings a wealth of expertise in managerial, technical, and functional aspects. Throughout his career, he has successfully led high-performing teams, driving innovation and strategic leadership to ensure timely and effective quality results. Currently, he is working as a chief economist with Informatics Suite in Delhi. In the realm of technical and functional expertise, his role as chief economist in Canara Bank involved consolidating the banking position through the launch of new product business processes, re-engineering, and detailed analysis for strategic decision-making. As a key member of various committees and policy-making forums, he has contributed to shaping the bank's vision and provided insights into economic, political, and technological developments. His research expertise includes over 350 publications over a period of 40 years, including in the Business Review, Cambridge, Vocational Papers, RBI, Mumbai, Journal of International Research Publication, Economy and Business, Bulgaria, to name a few. And he also writes for Economic Times, Financial Express, Times of India, Hindu, Business Line, Telangana Today, Dainik Jagran, to name a few. The citation for Management Excellence Award reads as Management Excellence Award 2023-24 is conferred on Dr. Manoranjan Sharma, Chief Economist, Informatics Valuation and Ratings Private Limited, Delhi, in the recognition of his accomplishments as economist, researcher, reviewer, trainer, and torch bearer in the field of economic research and data analysis for academia and industry, and being an illustrious and prominent banker, trainer, and researcher on the occasion of 15th International Conference PMRG Gwalior. Signed by Dr. Nishant Joshi, Director, Prestige Institute of Management and Research Gwalior, Shri Dipen Jain, Chairman Governing Body, Prestige Institute of Management and Research Gwalior, and Vice Chairman, Prestige Education Society. So let us extend our hearty congratulations to Dr. Manoranjan Sharma, and I would like to request Guy to do the felicitation. So, So today Prestige is again honored in presenting the Lifetime Achievement Award to an individual whose dedication, innovation, and outstanding leadership has truly set a benchmark in our industry. Mr. Anil Bhasin has over 38 years of extensive experience in business development, sales, and marketing, as well as project management. He is a proactive leader and planner with an expertise in PLN management for more than 10 years. He served as a president at Cables India Limited from 2004 to 2020, achieving significant success. Under his leadership, revenue increased from 72 crores in 2005 to 1,200 crores in 2019, with a compounded annual growth rate of 22%. He led a team of 700 plus people participated in corporate policy decision making as a member of Executive Council and mentored North India branches for business growth. Notably, he spearheaded the launch of solar business in 2016 and revamped rural distribution strategies. He established R&D centers for connected lighting, LED, and solar technologies, making Havel the first Indian company to light up the fixture plants in Imrana. Shri Bhasin has received several prestigious awards and recognitions, including Peter Dutton Memorial Award of Excellence from the International Chamber of Professional Education and Industry. He was also honored with a Lifetime Award by Amity University and Brick of Change Award by Mr. Amitabh Kant, CEO of Niti Aayog. Recognitions also included Marketing Role Model Award by Top Rankers, Amity Leadership Award for Corporate Excellence, and Entrepreneurial Excellence Award of the Year. Furthermore, he has received the award for Excellence in Energy at FICCI's Smart Cities Summit and was acknowledged as the best ICT implementer in Smart City Ludhiana for 2 consecutive years, that is for 2017 and 2018. Havel's under his leadership was named the India LED Lighting Company of the Year by Frost and Sullivan in 2017. These awards highlight his significant contributions and achievements in various domains, including leadership, marketing, entrepreneurship, and energy excellence. He has delivered several keynote addresses, webinars, and guest lectures of diverse topics in top 50 business schools, including prestigious institutions like IIMS, XLRI, FMS, IIFT, SRCC, to name a few. This reflects his expertise and willingness to share insights on leadership, communication, and management with students and professionals across the broad spectrum of renowned educational institutions. The citation for Lifetime Achievement Award reads as Lifetime Achievement Award 2023-24 is conferred on Mr. Anil Bhasin in recognition of his accomplishments as an industry leader, educator, researcher, trainer, administrator, motivator, torchbearer of industry, having vast ethical and managerial expertise for his revolutionary work as an industry leader on the issues of organizational development, besides being a distinguished and prominent industry professional on the occasion of 15th PMR Gwalior International Conference, place Gwalior, dated 6th of January 2024, signed by Dr. Nishant Joshi, Director, Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Gwalior, Shri Vipin Jain, Chairman, Governing Body, Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Gwalior, and Vice Chairman, Prestige Education Foundation. Sir, your journey serves as a guiding light for those aspiring to lead. I would like to request Director Dr. Nishant Joshi to do the felicitations.
Thank you so much, sir. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Now, I would like to request Professor Dr. Nishan Joshi to please present a memento to our chief guest, Mr. Anil Bhasin, ex-president, Havells, India. Thank you, sir. Up next, I would like to request Professor Dr. Tarika Singh to kindly present a memento to Dr. Justin Paul, Professor, University of Puerto Rico, USA. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to request Associate Professor Dr. Chanda Gulati to please present a memento to Mr. Anil Trigunayaji, IFS, Confederation of Education Excellence. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Abhay Dubey for presenting a memento to Dr. Manoranjan Sharma, Chief Economist, Infometrics Valuation and Rating Private Limited, Delhi. Thank you, sirs. Up next, I would like to request Professor Dr. Garima Mathur to please present a memento to Dr. Shemendra Sharma, Head Communication and Customer Centricity, Tata AIA. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Up next, I would like to request Professor Dr. Navita Nathani to please present a memento to CA Prabhat Chopra, Senior CA, Chopra Consultants, Gwalior, with a bouquet. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Up next, I would like to request Dr. Abhijit Singh Chauhan to present a memento to Mr. Ankur Maheshwari, founder and CEO, Modern Group. Thank you, sirs. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the higher appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. With these words, I would now like to request Associate Professor Dr. Abhay Dubey, Organizing Secretary of the conference, to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, Amrapali ma'am. It is my honor and privilege to extend heartfelt gratitude on behalf of the entire Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Gwalior, to propose this vote of thanks in front of you all. Conference theme for 15th International Conference is Fostering Industry Academia Partnership for Driving Innovation and Strategizing Trade and Industry. So I would like to extend my deepest appreciation to the distinguished guests who graced the inaugural session of our conference. Your august presence and invaluable insights not only elevated the event's significance, but also set a benchmark for the intellectual discourse that unfolded throughout the conference. A profound expression of gratitude to our esteemed conference patrons, Shri Dipin Jain sir and Dr. Davish Jain sir. Their visionary patronage and unwavering commitment to the academic excellence have been the cornerstone of this conference success, leaving an inedible mark of the scholarly community. Heartfelt thanks to Dr. Nishant Joshi, the Ritualite Conference Chairman and Director of PIMR Gwalior. His gracious leadership and foresight have been pivotal in shaping the conference objectives and ensuring its seamless execution, fostering an environment conducive to scholarly exchange. My sincere appreciation goes to meticulous co-organizing secretaries of the conference, Dr. Chanda Gulati, Dr. Abhijit, and Ms. Simran Rohera. Their untiring efforts, attention to detail, and strategic planning have been the driving force behind the conference's success, making it a truly memorable intellectual gathering. A distinguished acknowledgement to the Ritualite session chairs, co-session chairs, keynote speakers, who transverse international boundaries to share their expertise. Your global perspective will only enrich the conference, will also help in broadening the intellectual landscape of our collective discourse. We extend our deepest gratitude to the discerning participants, dedicated research scholars, and esteemed academicians whose active participation and scholarly contribution have been the lifeblood of this conference. Your diverse perspective has woven a tapestry of the knowledge that will resonate far beyond these conference halls. A resounding applause to the meticulous committee coordinators who with the precision and dedication orchestrate the myriad details behind the scenes. We express our sincere gratitude to all those who have been associated with the conference directly or indirectly. With these, I would like to open this conference for further sessions and discussions. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Abhisar. Up next, I would like to request the August gathering to please stand for the national anthem. Thank you all. You may please take your seats. With this, I would like to say that starting today, we must pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and begin again the work of remaking and remolding, as every end is a new beginning to another journey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with these words, I would like to invite all of you for a group photograph and a luscious lunch being served in the dome area. After the lunch, we will be starting with our conference tracks. The schedule for the same